Welcome to Springfield, Missouri, the 34th Annual National Christian Homeschool Basketball Championships, the campus of Drury University, O'Reilly Family Event Center. Scott State and Jeff Cannon, and we're going to be joined by Rob Flatt as we get ready for this second-to-last game of the day, and it is a good one. MHEA, only the second team ever to win 5 straight Undisputed National Championships. They begin their 6th defense here, and on the tip, Abram gets it for MHEA in the white uniforms. It is the Wichita Defenders, the 7 seed in Class 5A. They are in the blue.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how MHEA is reloaded. Like you said, 5-time defending champion, and a lot of those guys that were on that long string of championships have graduated. So you see a lot of new faces here this year, but Memphis, they're just going to reload.
Adebayo had the first bucket and then quickly the other way, the other end. I mean, they don't put any kind of stops on that. There's Adebayo again.
Yeah,
he's got a quick
spark.
4. MHEA always has a good crowd when they play. Big program, big base. And the one thing they have that no other team has, Jeff, is they've got 5 years of experience as undisputed champs. So it trickles down this whole program.
It really does, and they just know how to win. They come from a winning culture, and they're well coached. And but I'd say the same thing for Wichita. Which I've had a lot of dealings against Wichita in my days as a coach, and it's a great program. They have. They come from a good basketball town.
That time on the battle for the rebound, MHEA, both times that there's been misses by the defenders, they quickly get to the other end. But on the tie-up, the ball will go back to Wichita because they did not get the tip.
Memphis is staying in this press. I'm not sure how long they will. Wichita has now broken it effectively twice, but they have not converted it into points.
Pretty fine there by Corbin Talley, the senior, to kick it out top to their all-Heartland performer, Elias Lukashot, but his shot was a little bit short, but they still come down with the offensive board. Defenders with the ball, trailing 4-0 early. On the drive, off the backboard, went up and over Abram there. That was Cade Ammons. First points of the night for the defenders.
That's pretty impressive because Abram is a very large, imposing figure down there, and for him to go up and over that that's a good sign. Gets him on the board early.
Feeds Abram down low. He's triple teamed. Still puts it up. Follows his own. Misses the one-handed putback. Board comes down to the defenders. That time again, Ammons. Here come the defenders the other way.
This is going to be a tough ask for the defenders to get boards away from Abram, but so far they have been up to the challenge. That was 2 straight offensive boards by Abram, and yet Wichita was able to come away with it without yielding a point.
Braxton Dawkins was also in the game, younger brother of Robert, who was a part of one of those 5 championships they won. And into the game looks like now is going to be Parker Cross. So the defenders with the ball on the attack. They trail it 4-2 early here. The second to last boys 18U game we brought to you from Drury University. Some really good action today.
MHEA is being very, very consistent with not switching. They have decided who the matchups are, and they're being very intentional about not switching.
Great floater there by Mark Clark to tie things up, 4-4. MHEA on the attack once again. On the drive, whoa, strong move, MJ Butler. He drops it into the bucket, draws the foul, and he will have a chance for 3.
Anytime you can take strength on strength, is especially in a one-on-one situation, is usually going to yield in a very good result, and there he gets rewarded not just for the bucket but for the foul. I love to see that when he sees an open lane.
He eyes the free throw, puts it in. 3-point play there for MJ Butler.
They're going to a man press now.
Cross knocked it out of bounds, but it hit the ground before it hit the defender, so it will stay with Wichita.
It's very impressive. Even on this man press, they are not switching. They are staying with their man. Very good defensive footwork by Memphis.
Defenders working the ball around outside, trying to find an opening there. Oh, nice bounce pass underneath. thought about going up, but he had the big man in his face. Here's a three, no good. That time by Luka shot, and the fight for the board tied up. Going to be a jump ball, and because it's a second possession change, it will go to MHEA. Abram down there battling for the board.
Well, it's really good ball movement there by Wichita, especially when from the inside to the out and the swing to the wing. It's a shame it wasn't rewarded.
Here's MHEA once again on the attack and tried it again, but this time he slid his feet. Butler unable to finish it that time.
Yeah, the help side was a little late there. He had a great opportunity for an easy bucket, but he just shuffled his feet.
Here's a dish. Little 10-foot jumper is short by Isaiah Anderegg, and here comes MHEA once again on the attack, leading by 3, under 4 minutes to go here. First quarter, this boys 18U, and on the drive, no, once again, Adebayo is having a game. 3 straight drives.
Wichita is not intimidated. They are playing just as physical, matching them 1-for-1. The difference is that Memphis is converting, and Wichita is getting down low but not being able to convert.
Abram there to cause trouble for the shot by Anderegg. And on the rebound, it looks like it's going to stay down at this end. And
yeah, Abram is, like I said, he's just going to be very difficult to contend with down low, and they're going to have to find ways to move around him in order to score inside the paint.
Defenders bringing it under their own bucket. Adebayo, oh, nice job on the defense, but a floater by Mark Clark, his second bucket of the game, 9-6.
Really good patience there to not overcommit, be able to take his time, let the defender go by.
Adebayo over to Butler. Butler to Sharping. Abrams down on the blocks. Here. Tried to drive there, and I think, are they going to call a foul or a walk there? Looks like they called some contact. Nope, they called the walk.
That was an impressive post-ambush move. Wichita is letting the ball come down to Abram, and then as soon as he basically makes that turn, you see 2 defenders coming to help, daring Abram to find the open guy. That time it worked for Wichita.
Here's Mark Clark once again. Boy, Abram was right there, and somehow he got it through and put it into the bucket, and now it's a 9-8 game.
Oh, and here we have a little quick
Mark
steal.
Clark once again. Stops.
Another good patient move. See how he just stops, lets the defender go by. Memphis is over pursuing just a little. That's part of that speed and the physical nature of this game. Ooh, a little bit of a hook there.
Butler brings it back the other way. Boy, we've seen some strong drives in the lane, and you got to be strong to finish those off. And both Mark Clark and MJ Butler showing they got the tools to do that.
Yeah, this is really impressive by Wichita here.
Ball knocked away by Abram. Clark back out top. Oh, cross-court pass.
Ooh.
Jacob Enns thought about the 3, drives. Challenged by Abram, who comes off with the rebound.
Really good drive. Right now, that's just the difference in the game. Just a little bit better finishes by Memphis, but I think that's the reason why we got a close game here is both teams have shown a willingness to drive the lane early.
Oh, beautiful feed. That was Abram to cross. He was the cutter across the lane there. Give the assist to the big man, and 13-10. MHEA leads by 3 now.
Really good dive play there. Nice stop and pop.
Hudson Steinmetz. He's the floor leader according to their coach. Pretty shot. Lead back down to 1 for MHEA. Going toe-to-toe right here.
Really good defense there.
Butler dishes, cross.
Really nice.
Great interior passing by the Eagles. That's why they lead by 3.
Yeah, both teams are really executing well, both offensively and defensively. It's a nice little chess match that's going on out there.
Under a minute to go. This period has flown by, and once again, Mark Clark, 10 points this quarter.
You know, Wichita defenders coach let us know Mark Clark is fast, quick, usually good for a couple highlight blocks and steals each game. I think that's as good a scouting report as you could possibly get.
Yeah, that's just for 1 quarter. I wonder what he'd say about the rest of them.
There's another post-ambush move right there. It's clear Wichita has scouted them in terms of understanding how they're going to have to deal with Abram.
That time a throwaway. Oh, on the spin, up and under, no good. That was by Sharping. It couldn't fall.
He had to save that.
Here's Adebayo, 3, got it.
Wichita didn't have any choice. They had to save that. He knew that it was going to be out on them.
9 seconds. Here come the defenders on the attack. The jump shot, short, rebound, put back up, off the side of the rim. Abram throws it to the other end, and that's the way this first quarter will end. It is 18-14. MHEA Eagles with the lead.
Yeah, and Sean Adubato, his grandfather is former NBA head coach Richie Adubato.
Yeah, you might have heard that name. That's why it's familiar to you, and apparently the genes get passed down, Rob, because he's playing quite a game. What a game so far. He has 9 points, but it's Mark Clark with 10, and we've got a 4-point game as we head to the second period after this break.
Ouch! When it hurts, real time it. Ouch! When it hurts, real time it.
Welcome back. Second quarter action here, boys. 18U. Division I Class 5A game where the 2 seed and 5-time defending undisputed national champs MHEA Eagles out of Memphis lead the Wichita Defenders, the 7 seed, 18-14. It's Defenders with the ball as we go into this second quarter of action. Jeff Cannon, Rob Flatt, Scott Staten. And this is our second to last game of the day. In between the last game and this one will be the 3-point championships and the dunk championships, and we're going to have some fun with that one. Defenders on the drives, or on the offense. They have done a great job finding some seams and some open shots, and a lot of that's been due to Mark Clark and his ability to penetrate and get to the glass.
Yeah, we've seen very few outside shots in this game. Both teams have really made a concerted effort to go inside, drive the lane, and they've been very successful. Both teams have about doing so. There's another great example, great look, just didn't fall.
Tate Ammons couldn't get it to drop. They knocked the ball out of bounds. MHEA will have possession. If you watched the game right before this one, you might have seen towards the end a player on Bluegrass, Barron Wilson, went down and had a head injury. And he is a tough kid. He was being actually stitched. He didn't want to leave the arena. So the doctors were stitching him in the back. But we had some people that were asking about that, and he's doing well. Just bummed that his team didn't win, but expecting to play more this week. Abram, nice, goes to his right and drops it into the bucket. The big man showing some power there.
Yeah, I don't think Wichita coach was happy about that. You can tell they have made a concerted effort to run post ambush on Abram, and that time there was no backside help, and as a result, Abram got an easy bucket. And I think in order for Wichita to be successful, they are going to have to be very, very focused about making sure they bring secondary, even tertiary help to make sure that he doesn't, because Abram he's just so big and strong and tall.
Yep.
Down low, he's going to beat you if you give him any type of opening.
Yeah, and before we get too far in this broadcast, and there's not too much of a down moment while the game's going on, I want to mention the HHBA, the number 1 overall seed, went down to the Dallas Thunder. It's the second straight year the number 1 overall went down. Tyler Heat last year were number 1 overall after winning the Big South, and they went down in the first round as well. So a lot of action there, but also we've had some 2 seeds. 2 of them have gone down as to 7 seeds, and We've had some great action here, but
absolutely got a whistle there on MHEA, and that's what we were talking about a little bit on the break. We were speaking with some of the MHEA people, and actually Thomas, whose sons were big parts of some of those championships.
Yep.
And I said, "What do you think? Do you guys really have a legitimate shot?" He said, "Man, after today, I feel like it's anybody's game. Why not us?"
That's right. Well, that's the beauty of it. The parity is there. You've got MHEA, and it's hard to say parity while you're watching the 5-time defending undisputed national champion. The last time we had a 5-time undisputed national champion was the first years of nationals. Go ahead and call that real quick.
Adubato with the 3 after the Abrams steal.
And Adebayo previously had picked up his first foul, so that's a good way to avenge it.
12 points for Sean Adebayo already. But yeah, Robbie, as you were saying, it's already day one, just setting the table for who knows what. We know we're going to have a new girls champion this year.
We do. And in the last time we had that 5-time champion, okay, we're going to keep bringing that up. Let's call that.
What a great shot.
Wow.
That was really our first long outside shot of the game.
Defenders staying around.
But see, look at this.
Beautiful dish.
Adebayo is doing it inside and outside. He just you can tell just has a really high basketball IQ. I guess that's what you get from being a coach's grandson. But he just is it's more than just what he's doing in terms of scoring. It's his eye for where to be on the court. And he's probably telling his teammates the same thing. So that's a huge intangible to have.
Oh yeah.
To have the ability to help direct your team. That was a great cut. See, that's what I'm saying. The difference in this game is just the shots for Wichita are just as high quality. They're just not going in.
MHEA could not convert there after they come away with the steal. Ooh. And we got a whistle. But, yeah, both teams, they've been great at finding, like, some of those passes in the paint have been just beautiful. Not always finishing, but both teams with kind of just trading shots here. 25-17, though. MHEA with the lead.
Abrams getting a break. So if I'm Wichita now, I'm really going to exploit the inside if I can.
We have 5 new players checked in between the two teams there.
That's one thing. They both got a deep bench. MHEA, that's one of the reasons they have so much experience, because some of these younger guys got in some of those games on a short miss there.
Beautiful
blank
drive too. That's so frustrating as a coach. I can tell you that when you're doing, what can you say to your team? They're doing everything right.
Yep,
they just aren't scoring.
Oh, Adebayo with the steal. He's going to take it the other way, all the way in.
How about that delay in air to make sure he had the guy on his back hip before he released that ball? That's next level.
7 points this quarter, 16 in the game already of his team's 27 points. Defenders with the ball.
Oh, I love that gap defense there off the shell. Really good, but another great opportunity.
Yep, good find. Over in the corner.
I like the patience here, not panicking, not trying to just take any shot.
Mark Clark that time looked like he might have got tied up when I couldn't tell if he was going to pass or shoot there, but the ball went out of bounds off of the Eagles.
What do they always say? Don't leave your feet without a plan.
Yeah.
But luckily he drew a deflection that lets him keep the possession. They do need to start converting some of these great looks they have. They're down 10, and you wouldn't know it based on the way these two teams have played. Very close.
Another steal. Adebayo going to take it all the way in. He's money.
Looked like he wanted to dunk that.
18 points for Sean Adebayo.
And there he goes again.
And you can see why he saw all Big South. And here he comes again. Oh, what a dish. Up and in. Beautiful pass. And that's going to be a timeout as James Wynn drops it in. And the MHEA faithful making some noise.
I don't think it's so crazy. That pass, I don't know that most people know. That is a really tough pass. He threw that about 6 inches above the ground on a flat lateral pass, just where the guy could catch it and shoot in one motion. Yeah. That is not easy to do when you're literally got two guys that are just careening in on you. So very, very impressive assist there by Adebayo.
It's our first Nationals with MHEA without a Thomas brother.
Yeah.
On the court, and the Thomas brothers, Caleb and Andrew, won Maravich Awards, National Player of the Year awards. They were such a pivotal part of the MHEA success at the varsity boys level. Reminds me a little bit of the Sanders era, a little bit shorter, because the Sanders had, I think, several kids coming through.
Yeah.
If I remember, both as a coach, player, and then as a director.
Yeah, those Thomas brothers, they were a real thorn in our side at Dash. They stopped us short 2 straight years in a row from getting that championship. But yeah, that's a great pedigree, that family. That's really, really good.
One of the fun things about this tournament is you do see a lot of the same names that kind of you can tell it gets passed along, and you wonder how many of these driveway one-on-one games have turned into these nationals. And the Thomas boys, I know Caleb, I was just talking to his dad, his team 31-1 at Reed Hartman. They are the top seed in the NAIA, and they're in the Sweet 16 already. So,
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, doing a great job there.
Well, you mentioned the names of the siblings and stuff, and you got Braxton Dawkins.
Big block by Abram.
Braxton, the younger brother of Robert Dawkins, who starred in the national championship game 2 years ago.
Absolutely. You do see a lot of them. James Nguyen, 4 quick points now off the bench. MHEA starting to build that lead now. It's up to 16 after the defenders really held court with them in that first quarter, but right now MHEA showing some depth. Here's a 3 that misses everything, and ball knocked back in bounds.
That's going to stay Wichita, off of his foot.
It's funny because the 2 guys involved for Wichita there, Isaiah Andrig and also Cade Ammons, when we asked the coach, who are your leaders, he said they lead the team in bruises. They're hustlers.
There you go. You need that.
I didn't know Huddle had that in their stat sheet.
Apparently it's a new one. You gotta have the premium edition to get that one. Here comes the defenders again, trying to stop this bleeding. They are down 33-17. MHEA.
I tell you what, MHEA's defense right now is just really, really solid.
Yeah.
Wichita's doing the right things. They're being patient. They're trying to work through. But MHEA closes their gaps so quickly, especially above the free throw line. When you teach a shell defense, the main thing you tell your guys is do not let them below the free throw line. And the key to that is that you stunt those gaps so quickly and you don't let go of them until the on-ball guard has recovered. And Memphis is doing that just to textbook.
Big minutes off the bench here. Minetti with the ball right now. Swings it over Atabatu.
Heat check.
Almost. Good rebound.
By Dawkins.
Couldn't get it to go, but he follows his own miss. His first
Dawkins
2 of the game.
Wow, we got twin towers now in for MHEA. This is impressive.
Got to think, too, Grandpa Atabatu's got to be kind of proud right now what his grandson is doing. You can tell he's got some genes there when it comes to basketball. There's a miss by the defenders.
Wichita's going to have to start mixing up their shots. It's going to be a mix of inside and outside so that they can disrupt this defense.
Minetti, his first bucket of the game. Nice drive there.
Beautiful baseline drive.
He's one of their big defenders off the bench, but showing he's also got some point prowess there. And 37-17, and we got under a minute to go in this second period. And suddenly you look up and the Eagles are up 20. Three-pointer, there's a good answer.
That's exactly what Wichita needs, is that they've got to have an outside game answer. You've got to draw MHEA out of these lanes and move them out and create some space for guys that can cut through.
Lukashot's first points of the game. He averages 18, but that's his first bucket he connects on. 31 seconds to go. 17-point lead, MHEA. Gonna line this one down, it looks like.
Yeah, they're gonna hold for the last. See what they draw up here.
Minetti with the ball. Goes to his right. Back over to Nguyen.
Oh, I thought we were going to have a high wall screen there, but it just didn't go.
Oh, nice dish.
What
to
a
Abram.
block. I don't know if that's a foul, but it looked really good.
Well, the official says it is, so I guess it is.
Dang, I thought that
challenge.
was clean. I thought that was a really good block.
Great play. The drive, the dish to Abram, and he draws the contact and will find himself at the free throw line with 8 seconds to go. First shot is no good.
Abram seems like a name that I recognize with MHEA for a long time, but on the girl side, I feel like maybe Grace Abram.
Yep.
And
okay.
I could have looked something up, but I'm going off of that. Just a thought from many years ago. So
absolutely, and his dad. On the rebound, put back, no good. Going to try it again. Ball ripped away. 3 seconds to go. Here come the defenders. The 3 at the buzzer will not fall. And we will head to the locker rooms, 37-20. MHEA with a commanding lead right now over the Wichita defenders. We'll be back with second half action after this break.
When it hurts, real time it.
Ouch!
When it hurts, real time it. When it hurts, real time it. When it hurts, real time it.
Welcome back to Springfield, Missouri, and a raucous MHEA crowd as they begin defense of their, what they hope is their sixth straight Undisputed National Championship game. Scott Staten alongside Jeff Cannon and Rob Flatt. And we've been talking a little bit about everything else going on. Coming up next is the three-point and the dunk championships. But, Rob, we're starting to get some idea of now what the rest of this week's going to look like, especially tomorrow as we're starting to get some results come in.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I do, no one has the ball right now, so I won't be guilty of helping someone hit a three. The last time we had a five-time undisputed national champion was 30 years ago.
Wow.
Thesa girls?
It was actually, I'm talking varsity boys.
Boys.
We did have Thesa girls and varsity girls. And in both cases, I believe with Thesa girls and in the case of Olathe Warriors and varsity boys 30 years ago, the sixth year, they did not field an actual varsity boys team. Now, Thesa, the next year after that, they absorbed another group that didn't have a team, and they ended up making it to the finals and losing to New Way.
Yes.
So they made it to 6 out of 7 years. Now, I didn't do that on purpose. So, all right. But he did. This is the first time we've had a team that actually has a legitimate shot at winning the sixth straight.
It's going to be fun to see what happens. I mean, why not? Wichita trailing 37-20. They had the ball. They're in the blue uniforms, the defenders. Oh, there he is again. We saw that a bunch in the first quarter. Mark Clark with another kiss off the glass. He's got 12 now.
All right, varsity boys, the 5 seeds are undefeated this week. They went 4-0.
Wow.
So all 4 number 4 seeds went down. In Class 8A, it will be number 8 versus number 5 in the semifinal because HHBA lost to Dallas Thunder. And we have Dallas Thunder will be taking on the number 5 seed Aggie Land Panthers.
Wow.
Abram once again on the drive. He got fouled by Clark.
That will be at 1:45 right here. At the 3 o'clock game, we have the number 1 in Class 6A, Wichita Warriors will take on the number 5, Indy Northwest Warriors. We have a couple other games that have not been settled yet, so I'll skip through those, including this one right here that the winner will be involved in. But in Class 8A, the 3 versus 7, PT Warriors versus West Michigan. We just saw PT Warriors close out the Bluegrass Blazers. And then that will be a 6:45 game. And then the 8 p.m. game at 7A, 3 versus 2, Manhattan Chief versus the Tennessee Heat. Last year, they played in the Undisputed National Championship game, the Heat did.
It's pretty impressive. You got Wichita with 2 organizations that are representing the top 32. That's pretty good.
Absolutely.
At the other end, Abram missed the free throws, missed his follow-up shot, but got the tip in. So keep trying. Abram with the rebound. Oh, he's tied up.
Well, it's just been the story today is all those missed point-blank shots, or we would have a much different score right now.
That time, Jacob Inns grabbed the ball and was just hanging onto the ball, lost his feet, and Abram just was holding him and the ball.
I think Abram had both of them.
39-22, 6:30 to go. Butler with the ball for MHEA, just the latest in their line of strong guards. We got a blocking call on the defenders. Cade Ammons said he leads in bruises. Can see why. He steps right in front there.
No fear.
The Wichita defenders, our coach, is very aware of his team.
Yeah, he is. You know that. Here's Abram, the big man for 3.
Wow.
Almost rattled in.
Good effort there.
Here comes Mark Clark. Oh, from behind. Adebayo knocked it away, grabbed it, and went out of bounds. Great hustle. That was Cross, actually, with the ball there. Great hustle by Parker Cross.
You see Memphis has kind of changed their strategy a little bit. They have chosen to double Clark and basically I think they're trying to utilize this quarter as the one to put them away, and so they're gambling a little bit, especially up at the high trap. You would not normally see a team go to that at this point in the game, but they've made a decision. I think maybe they're seeing that were it not for some of these point-blank misses, Wichita would be right there with them.
Well, and this game is far from over, but the one thing that MHEA has the luxury of that a lot of teams don't is they know what it takes to not just win. They know the long game. And so they're going to play a lot of players. They're going to, they got to win, but they've got a deep bench, and it looks like they're running in a lot of players. There's some guys that are playing a lot of minutes right now that didn't start the game, and they're still in there right now. So we'll see how MHEA keeps going.
Yeah, that's a walk.
Yep.
I tell you, I don't. Do we know what year Abram is? I mean, I
think he's a junior.
I was going to say, he's very impressive for, being able to kind of be a multi-tool guy.
Well, he's really transformed his body. He, when he was coming up, he was always tall, but when he was in middle school, he just hadn't really grown into his body yet, and he's really worked hard at becoming a lot more agile. With the dunk, as we talked about him.
That drive and dish is it's just undefendable.
The MHEA crowd into a frenzy, along with the bench.
They love their dunks.
They were looking for it.
Adebayo with the steal. The hesitation. Puts it up a little slow. Cross misses.
Wow, 2 boards right
Minetti, there. He can't get it to go. 3 straight.
Wow.
Shots couldn't drop at point-blank range.
They're like, okay.
Maybe both teams are struggling with these rims. Defenders.
Might be some brick rim here.
Wichita needs some points here. Defenders with the ball.
Very nice.
Spins and puts it in.
Great decision there.
Good little jumper by Isaiah Anderick.
Not intimidated by Abram there at all. He knew he could float over him. I'll tell you what, Adebayo were two guys there on that trip down. It didn't even bother him.
Oh, good feed.
Yeah.
Here's Abram again. Puts it in.
Yeah.
They're finding him now.
No ambush there either. There's just no answer for him if he gets that in a one-on-one situation.
8 points, 6 of those in this quarter for David Abram.
Now he can shoot the three here. He's hit one and came close on the other.
Big rebound by Abram.
He likes that top spot too.
Adebayo is going to drive, tried to do the up and under, can't go. The other way comes Anderegg. Cross-court pass.
Great defense there. Great defense by 52.
And now they're going to have to reset. Steinmetz over to Anderegg.
See, look at that. Look at that stunt. It just cuts off any lane for them to penetrate. It's taking everything they can to get in there.
Anderegg with the floater. Abram there to clean the glass.
That was a great drive. And a beautiful shot. It just didn't go.
Yeah, both teams' defensive tenacity is definitely there. They both play with incredible effort, even in the open floor and the half court.
Wow.
Manetti with the drive and the drop in.
It's a great delay there. I love their body control when they go up. That's something they've clearly worked on, because you've seen that now with 2 or 3 of the Memphis players, that they just will hang in the air. They don't just, a lot of guys will just go and they'll just release, and that's where those blocks come from. But they're waiting for that defender to make a move before they release the ball, and that just takes great body control, great patience, really good awareness.
Does this MHEA team, in your guys' opinion, become more dangerous with each win because they start to believe, too, like we can do this again?
Well, they probably already believed to begin with. I mean, they have a believing mentality in Memphis. I think what you're saying does have some validity, is that they're growing confidence with themselves.
Right.
Rather than just the program, they're looking at it and saying, we can carry this mantle just like the 5 teams before us, because we have the talent, we have the capability, and if we look up, we're executing. We're doing what we have to do.
Didn't we see that last year with them after finishing 5th place out in the Big South, 5th place this year in the Big South? They grew up at Nationals. They didn't have it. It wasn't like it was an easy road to get there. Mm-hmm. Every game kind of felt like they had their own challenges. I'm not saying that they weren't pushed, but last year wasn't the same as the previous years.
Oh, even down to the last minute and a half of that game against Tennessee. Tennessee was up 6.
Yeah, the Heat really.
And Memphis just would not quit.
Yeah.
And they almost rattled Tennessee to make Tennessee think they were not the leader, that they were the ones that were behind.
This group here is absolutely going to gain confidence as the week goes on, as long as they're winning. Yeah. Every win gets them a little closer. And the bottom line is there's giants falling all around them, and yet they are the main draw. That's why they're the 5:30 game right before the slam dunk and 3-point finals. That wasn't an accident. 5-time defending national champion.
Here's Charping for 3. Got it.
Yeah, now they're starting to feel it. So now what we needed to see from Wichita is now happening with Memphis. They're working the outside game, because Wichita is so focused on that inside game, and it's once it hits, it's going to make it really difficult for Wichita to climb.
MHEA has doubled up the defenders right now. They are just really showing it. Reason.
2 quick updates for you. We've got the Thesa Riders winning in Class 7A as the 1 seed. Not a surprise there, the Big South champion. Although a day full of surprises, that's one that wasn't much of a surprise. So Thesa will take on the CHSA Wolverines, who are the 5, who did pull off an upset, minor as it might be in a 4-5 matchup. So we have Thesa and CHSA. They'll be right here at 4:15 tomorrow on this live stream channel and at Drury. The winner of this game will be the 5:30 game. So we'll have the 4:15 game with Thesa and CHSA, and then the 5:30 game right here with the HEA Firebirds out of Novi, Michigan, versus right now it looks like to be the Memphis MHEA Eagles.
I called one of Chessa's games last year, and having been in the same region as them for last several years and coached against them even when I was coaching 14U, they are a really rising program. They especially that varsity boys team has got some really solid talent. They were mostly underclassmen last year, so they were young, but they were really talented. So I look for Chesa to do some pretty cool things in this tournament. I think they could go a long way. We were talking about parity. There's at least 8 or 9 teams that could win on any given day, and I would put Chesa definitely up there in the top 3 or 4 of that list.
Want to hear something scary? Having done mission trips with the Abrams David's family down in Memphis, Mary just texted me and said, "Oh, by the way, David's just a sophomore."
Okay, that's what I would have guessed. That I didn't want to insult him, but you can see in his face that he's young, and that's what I'm telling you is that's going to be a scary guy.
Yes.
2 years from now you can tell he's still not all the way there tool wise, but he's already got the building blocks. He's going to be an incredible player. He's already really, really good, and he's just got so much upside as I watch him play.
Pairing him with this guy too, Dawkins.
So is Dawkins also a sophomore?
He's an underclassman. That's all I know.
Okay, yeah. It's interesting because when we played against them for the 2 years that we were in the Final Four, they had a lot of height and skill. Last year I thought was kind of an anomaly. They were a lot smaller than normal, and now we're looking at a team that over the next 2 to 3 years is going to be big again.
Yeah. Crazy, and they've always got guards. 52 seconds to go in this quarter. Wichita, if they're going to do something, they need to get something started here and try to finish this quarter well. Working it around. Mark Clark has had a great game, but he has had to deal with this swarming defense by the Eagles.
Yeah, they're just so disciplined. Look at that. You see
Clark for 3. That's short. Offensive board put back up and in that time.
Wichita capitalizing on that aggression there on defense. The moment the MHEA got a little bit out of position and made an aggressive play, Wichita was able to get a backdoor cut, make a pass to a cutter.
And we got a whistle. 11.6 to go here in this quarter.
Did you see Minetti down here when he was off ball? He was in the gap. And I love that you could almost see one eye on his man and one eye on the ball, and that's what we teach these guys when we teach them the shell defense. And he just ran that to absolute perfection. There was absolutely no way he was going to let anybody penetrate on that baseline drive, and that just shows you how good this defense is. I mean, yes, they have great offense, but we all know defense wins championships, and their defense is they're playing at an elite level defensively right now.
Adebayo misses the first.
Jeff, you've come for years. It's been a while since we've had a Monday night where people were streaming in.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of the little bit of the older days.
I was going to say the same thing. It's like I remember the days in Oklahoma City and the early days of Springfield when Monday night was kind of the marquee night, and I'm so excited to see that happen again here because it's just so electric, and it starts the week off really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. The slam dunk finals are always one of the main draws. And the Friday night is always such a long night. So many people want to go. And so by moving things up, we took some advice from the feedback we heard. And let's do it a little earlier. Let's do it earlier in the day. We got a game after at 8:15 that we're excited about as well.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. And you get these players that are going to get some recognition here during this spot is going to be really great because, like you said, everyone's pretty tired by Friday night. And a lot of people are especially it's mostly the parents. The kids would stay here 2 weeks if they could.
That's true.
But the parents are ready to go. And so having it here when everyone's so excited to get here and this is the best week of the year. I was telling all of our kids we have our big father-son game on our very last practice. We do practices and then we have a father-son game and we have a big closing prayer. And I tell these guys, I go, this is the best week of the year. And for our new parents and our new families that are just experiencing it for the first time, it's unlike anything else. And, our kids my kids are all grown now. I mean, my youngest graduates from college this year and they all, I just got a text from Trent about 2 hours ago. How's it going? Give me scoring updates. I was like,
yeah,
they're engaged, not just now, but for years and years to come.
Yeah, it's one of the exciting aspects, and seeing this on a Monday night, it made room so that we could actually bring back the all-region game, which we took away the year before. And so we made some time there to still be able to have that opportunity. We hated not having that last year.
Yeah.
But what made that possible is we had the courts on Monday. We had enough court space. Our biggest year ever, 416 teams at Nationals this year, back-to-back 400 teams. But we had the court space on Monday to move things up earlier and be able to provide the opportunity for those that want to check it out, the dunk finals, the three-point finals. Check out the 5-time defending undisputed national champion. And for those basketball diehards, they can stick around for another game at 8:15. Might be closer to 8:45 before that one starts. But we should be moving along with that 3-point finals and dunk finals once this game is over.
Yeah, the game after that will be the OKC Knights and the Missouri Warriors. And you're right, Rob. One of the things I love about this, the way that you guys have set this up, and Abram once again fed inside.
What
and
a beautiful shot there.
Dominating. But it's you guys always make the changes that the fans want. And, like, it's the kind of thing where when you see this on a Monday night, this looks like a Friday night. And it's going to be fun atmosphere for the dunkers and the three-point shooters. Lots of missed shots there, lots of offensive boards.
You know, and win or lose for both of these teams, they're getting to play in front of a crowd that, you know, most high schools and even small colleges don't get to play in front of. So
absolutely,
it's a really cool environment.
Yeah, and honestly, with the exception of MHEA, who gets to play in that undisputed championship game when it's packed out, this is as big a crowd as what any of these teams would play on. On a yearly basis.
It's almost like MHEA knows when the eyes are on them, that's when they're dangerous. They just become a different team.
Well, this is the interesting thing. Memphis MHEA Eagles have exactly 5 National Final Four appearances. They've been around for over 20 years.
Yep. 5
National Final Four appearances. All 5 are post-COVID, and all 5 come with an undisputed national championship.
Yep.
And so there were several Memphis programs in the girls' side for years.
Yeah.
And you had MHEA making finals and all this stuff against the Thesa Riders. In the first year, there was only one Memphis girls program. MHEA varsity girls became a dynasty. Tracy Rice, MHEA Eagles, and then when there was only one program on the boys' side, which took place after COVID. Up until then, in 2019, we had a team win a championship out of Memphis area that looked like they were going to be a potential another Final Four after winning the Final Four the year before. And so what we saw is once that team was no longer around, now you have MHEA has just dominated.
Yeah. They have taken the mantle that, like you said, the girls started with. They were the dominant team 10, 15 years ago, but then now it's been all guys, and boy, they have lived up to it today.
You know, I'll give credit to both these teams that, obviously the more you lead, the more energy you have, but Wichita has not let up in terms of their energy level. And there's 20 again that's his third 3. He is, I'd love to see more of that kind of kicking to him, which is crazy because I think he's also the tallest guy on the court for Wichita, but he's a great shooter.
Yeah, Andrew can shoot. He's their leading scorer at 18 a game. He was all Heartland. Just has not been able to have an answer.
That's a really nice
Enough
look
answers. There. Abram, nice job. He held off the defender with.
I'd love to know how many double-doubles Abram has this season, but I'm going to bet a lot.
Well, if Mary's listening, I bet she'll text me and let me know. MHEA swings it around. Here's another 3. Yep, in and out.
Good-looking shot.
And a foul. That time Abram inadvertently hit Andrew, or rather Lukashat in the head.
Looks like Dallas HSAA took care of business in Class 5A as the number 1 seed. So they're going to advance, and they are going to be playing against the Indianapolis Wildcats at 9 p.m. right here tomorrow night.
That'll be a good game, especially given how Indy had to come back from being down the entire game against KC.
Oh, yeah. That was a fun one to call, and again, that's you love how this week is a restart for everybody. You might have a bad regional, but it all gets forgotten when you come here and start playing like you can.
I mean, it's just like that. It's just like the March Madness format, and I think that's what's great. You know, a couple of our teams went from 11 seed at district to a 3 or even a 2 seed here because. And our coaches just had the mentality. It's like, okay, well, we just got to beat everybody.
Yes.
And that's all you got to do.
One day at a time.
That's it.
Wichita still battling, trailing at 52-29. Here's a 3 in the corner. No good, but right into the hands of the number 25, Anderegg. And I was wrong. Anderegg is not their leading scorer. It is Lukashet that is their leading scorer with 18 points a game. But Anderegg having himself a good game. He gets another rebound and a chance to get 2 more at the free throw line.
Yeah, that's just kind of a microcosm right there of the frustration for Wichita today was right there, point blank layup. And I know it was contested, but I also bet they normally convert those. And, we were talking about the HHBA upset, and, sometimes you just have those days where nothing goes right, and then you have those days where everything goes right.
Yep.
And unfortunately for Wichita, this was one of those days where execution was great, defense was really good. The game plan was good. They just couldn't finish at the rim, and that's been the difference.
Well, and they're the next in a line of a lot of teams that I think the last 5-6 years have thought, well, this is finally the game. This is finally the year they're going to lose at Nationals, and they just keep bringing more talent out and winning more games. Oh, nice job. Win with the rebound and then the dish underneath the Dawkins.
I will say this. I mean, yes, Memphis has been extremely impressive here today. And I think, like Jeremy said to me earlier, it's like it's theirs until they lose it.
Yeah.
But I will also say that from what I've seen today on the live streams, there's some really talented teams here that will threaten them. And
it only gets tougher.
I think we're in for a really entertaining week because of it.
Well, we're glad you have joined us and hope you continue to join us. Coming up next is going to be the 3-point and dunk championships. And, boy, the finalists, we saw a few of them on this court today. they're gonna put on a show for you. And I think that's one of the reasons so many fans are here is to be able to see that kind of talent. And we already know the 3-point shooters. This NCHBC, cranks out 3-point shooters, especially – I don't know. There's something in the water in Memphis. It seems like everybody down there can shoot 3-pointers. Mississippi River, I guess. The defenders.
I'll say for our kids that are really good 3-point shooters, most of them shoot between 500 and 1,000 threes a day.
That's crazy.
And I will guarantee you these Memphis kids shoot about that many a day.
Yeah, yep. You're absolutely right. It doesn't just come naturally. MHEA with the lead. In command right now, up by 23, 3:46 to go. And this O'Reilly Family Event Center just keeps filling up. Everybody coming in to catch the end of this game, probably checking the scores and realize that MHEA is back.
Really good high trap there.
Nice. Fake the 3, step to his left. Little short, but then
really
there to clean it up.
There.
Joe Will, his second bucket of the game.
Yep, I don't think it was clear. The Memphis coach did not like the fact that guy had a clear lane for a second chance point.
Yeah.
It's funny. A lot of people will, especially moms, will when that high trap works on that high press, they'll go, well, "Why didn't they go to that earlier in the game?" Okay, but it doesn't always work, and the elements are different based on the scoring differential. But at the same time, it is good to see that they were able to convert on that high trap.
On teams at all levels, but especially in the high school levels, they can turn
tough.
it on sometimes. You're like, where were we the first half? And then all of a sudden they play like, their hair's on fire. So, I mean, you just don't know with these teams.
And good teams adjust. Good teams will always adjust. So I remember when we played Memphis in the Final Four a few years ago, I threw everything I had in my playbook at them, and it worked for like 2 plays, and then they would adjust, and then that wouldn't work, and so we'd have to try something else. And so you can't undervalue the value of these coaches out there that are really game planning.
Right.
They spend hours and hours and hours scouting, looking at the strengths of their players, and trying to find the weaknesses in their opponents, and the game plans that they call are just as important as the execution these guys have to do on the floor.
Here's Abram inside. Ball was knocked away. Defenders come up with it. Yeah, you have that unique perspective, Jeff, too, because we know a little bit just from watching, but from your perspective, what it's like to try to coach against a program like that. And, we got an injury out there. Minetti went down.
It reminds me of when we played that same game. What was What was Justin's last name, Rob?
Justin Jackson?
No. For Memphis a few years ago.
Justin Morgan.
Yes,
Justin Morgan.
So we're playing them, and so we're playing a box one on Justin, and because Justin was an incredible 3-point shooter, and I'll never forget. Justin comes running down the court. He looks at me and he goes, "Box one, coach? Seriously?" And I said, "I'll stop calling it if you stop shooting it." He goes, I can't do that, coach. I go, I got to stick with it.
Yeah, Justin was one of those players you had to play something different on him.
So good.
What was he, 6'5", 6'6"?
6'5", and he could,
So good.
and he could shoot.
Yeah.
I watched him play a few games at Murray State last year. He's just such a talented kid.
Yeah, and a great kid, great family.
Great guy. And a funny guy, too.
Yeah.
I liked coaching against him. All these Memphis kids are really, really they're just good kids that, it's hard to root against them. And even when you're coaching against them, I mean, we had a few good laughs on the side as they were drubbing us by 25. But anyway.
No, but I think that's, they think that's something that's important. In the midst of a dynasty, there's class, there's good competitiveness, and yet there's a lot of respect. It's mutual, and I think that's something that comes from the top down, from the athletic director John Eubank to the head coaches that have won titles. We've got multiple coaches here on the varsity boys. You got the varsity girls that have set that. You've got the Guest family who's been part of those varsity girls titles, varsity boys titles, and it comes. And then the families that we've talked about that have many different kids that have been through the systems. And it's not an accident that we're seeing this. That what is that? I mean, at least 5 wins, in some cases 6 wins over a 5-year stretch. So 28-0 or something like that at nationals since 2019, and now 29-0.
Yep. Yeah, they're it's the organization you hate to love and love to hate.
Yeah. I mean, that when you're doing it right, people respect it when you're winning. But they will always root against you if the opportunity presents itself. The more you win, because that's just natural sports fan.
I will say I really enjoyed the games that I've coached against them over the years. It's always been a very healthy. I guess you can't call it a rivalry, but they I don't even know if they have any rivals at this point,
but when they're the biggest game of the year, and you run into them more than once, it does breed a little bit of a rivalry. That's the beauty of nationals, is you do kind of develop that, and the Final Fours, Dash ran into MHEA. So
they stopped us both times,
right?
But it's it was good. We if you're gonna lose, you want to lose to the best. You don't want to lose to somebody else that loses to the best. So
looks like a scoreboard error.
And in the meantime, Minetti, we saw him come down. The officials stopped the game after the shot was made, and he's over at the trainer's table, and Adebato steps out of the game, and he's over there trying to help make sure he's okay. They want every part for this run if they're going to try to defend it again. And
looks like a scorebook. I noticed this.
Oh, wow.
The scorebook.
That's awfully late to either notice that, or maybe
it may have been a late substitution.
Yeah.
We saw this earlier where there was a
he wasn't supposed to be in the game, but now they're putting him in maybe.
Volunteer bookkeepers.
We had, they alerted me to that earlier in the game. They did change it in the one scorebook, but I guess they didn't in the official because Aiden Fleming, I believe, number 10.
Yeah. Number 1 was not in the book.
Yeah, case
in this case
was not in the book.
Again, volunteer bookkeepers, this happens occasionally. Get it out of your system on Monday in a 20-point lead. That's a good.
Well, we saw it just 2 games ago. So
I think it was number 10 in that game. Yep.
Yeah, I think what they said was Fleming had switched jerseys, so Case was in there, and they it was on one book but not in the official book.
Gotcha.
1:12 to go. It's all but a formality now. MHEA look like they're going to move on in this Class 5A of boys 18U, and one step closer, one day closer to trying to defend that title again for a 6th straight time.
And Wichita will still get to compete for a gold ball in Division II. Am I right?
That's correct.
So we're the cool thing is some of these games that we've seen today on the live stream, and some of the results we've seen is, especially with a team like HHBA falling down, Division II is going to be a pretty fun, pretty fun group to watch too, because all all 32 of these teams are well equipped.
Yeah, and the thing about Division II is it can make a difference in next year's. Like when you start evaluating teams that are similar finish at regionals, we do take a peek at previous year's finish. So sometimes a Division II. In fact, this year HHBA got the number 1 seed when we evaluated the three regional champions and consider that they were the number 1 seed in their region. They were the only 1 seed in their region to win. And on top of that, they were the highest returning finisher.
Yeah, they were a Final Four team last year, right?
Actually, they won bronze. So,
they won bronze.
They lost on Tuesday and then won out after that. And so they got 9th place overall, which is the bronze ball bracket.
Yeah.
So this is definitely setting up for tomorrow being action-packed. And as the week goes on, the games are going to get bigger and bigger. And MHEA, if they win this and they close us out here, or when they win this and close it out here, they will be on every single game until if they lose a game.
I think I'm calling the MHEA game tomorrow.
Well, that will be an exciting one.
Well, we'll see. You'll get to follow right along as they continue this march to try to make it all the way again to the championship. As MHEA winds down the clock here on this day 1 win for them. They have not lost since before COVID at the Nationals. Can they continue to do it tomorrow? We will find out. Don't forget, we have the 3-point shooting and the dunk championship next. So we'll have a little bit of a break. And then there'll be another game right after that will close up this first day of action. It'll be the OKC Knights and the Missouri Warriors. Your final here, MHEA starts the defense of their 6th straight with a 59-37 win over the Wichita Defenders. We'll be back with more action later on tonight. Thanks for joining us.